The internal growth, I think, is at its acme in this for Adonis. And so, as an actor approaching it, you look at the hero and what is the hero's journey and where is he going, you know? And again, through conversation, we knew that this was going to be an intimate story about these two, actually about these two men, not this one guy coming across this man, but these two men and their own stories, their own legacies, their own dreams colliding and actually colliding. And so, yes, it is more intimate, but the saga of it is epic. You know, it's Greek. You know what we're discussing. It's tribal. You know, there's social and blood currency, you know, within these two individuals, and so it is different in that way, and it is smaller in that way because it's something that we all deal with. You know, every human being deals with that. You have a sibling, you know, by blood or maybe just by relationship, which is the case of Damien and Donnie. The event that breaks us apart is actually, ironically, a moment of contaminated collaboration. You know, when people see the film, you'll see that this is actually two people really trying to love each other, and one overplays the hand. And because of the society they're in, because of the actions that they took, and because of their age difference, the elder, Damien, ends up having to deal with the penal system and goes to prison. But the event of it is essentially a big brother sticking up for a little brother. That is all that happens. That's what happens. A little brother gets in trouble, rightfully so. Big brother goes in and tries to clean it up. And in doing so, they both get busted. They both get in trouble. But the older brother has older consequences. And that puts Damien in the penal system. He's in prison 18, 20 years. While in there, he holds on to the brother love that he has between him and Donnie. One of the things that they muse on and dream on and kept them afloat, you know, when they were in the mud of poverty, of foster care, etc., at the Jeff, was this dream of the rumble in the jungle, you know, Ali and Foreman. And they had that image, they had that dream, they shared that dream. And boxing for them was their ticket, and they were both incredible boxers. Damien, the stronger boxer, the older boxer, teaching the younger boxer, his younger brother, how to fight, you know, and ultimately how to survive. So that dream and that relationship is held on to by Damien when he's incarcerated. The rumble in the jungle, getting to Africa, these are things that in my script I went, that's what this moment is, that's what this moment is, that's what I'm fighting to get, that's what I want. And yes, while in there, he keeps his bond with Adonis by watching him work and watching him grow, you know, and essentially live the dream that they together used to dream. That also leads to the adversarial spirit. You know, this, imagine in prison you have this fear of missing out, of course. But then what happens when that's just what it's gonna be, you know, and you have to watch someone that's so close to you that understands your emotional connection to life, that understands your modus operandi, and you watch them model that and succeed in that without you, you know, it can breed resentment. The thing that separates Damien from, I think, the other canonical adversaries, one is that this script gives the opportunity for us to learn the villain and understand the villain. And in doing so, I had the gift of empathy, you know? And you have that primarily because of the relationship between Adonis and Damien, that these guys, from the beginning, when they're boys and when you see us as men, you know these guys have a brotherly love, you know, like, and it's deep. You know, it's that friend. But the thing that separates Dame from, I think, all the other guys would be that his beef is historical and emotional. But the battle for Damien continues. And it's not until he's in the locker room, because his battle is he just had a few more adversaries, a few more ghosts to defeat. There's a acknowledgement of one's pain and history, and that shared history, and ultimately himself, you know. And he has to acknowledge who he is and what he's done. And his brother, Damien, his brother Adonis also has to acknowledge it. And in doing so, they heal each other. Yeah, I mean, the film is interesting because the physicality is such a instrument of the storytelling. And so there's a level of entertainment and there's a level of verisimilitude that we have to hit as a team. And I mean, there were literally chats where I went, okay, he'll be super skinny then. All these elements were being dropped in because of the physicality, you know what I mean? And so, I mean, we trained, you know, and it's specialized training. I think when you watch Dame, you go, yeah. So he's a fighter. I don't know what he does, but the way he walks and the way he talks and the way he looks at people, he's a fighter. That's just what he is. Archetypically, he's a warrior. There's an intensity to Damien, you know. I remember the first time me and Mike got in the ring to do it, you know, Clay pulled me aside and said, hey, you know, you don't have to go that hard. You have to, that's the only way I know how to go. When you're going at that speed and you want to feel it, you know, you want to feel it, you know, and sometimes, I mean, me and Mike, we hauled off on each other. Like body shots, I mean, we didn't lift all those weights and do them themselves for nothing. I mean, your lungs burn like they've never burned before. You know, your legs hurt. You know, there's time, just this, I remember at a moment I was just like, this is just to stay in the position, the discipline to keep your legs plied in a certain way, to push off in the right way, like, to do that, there are times when my body was screaming, you know what I mean? And like, in ways you're not used to, you know? And in those moments, that's the beauty of acting. You know, you go, what would it cost to go through this? What are you trying to get to allow yourself to endure this, you know? If the answer is freedom, and if the answer is happiness, you know what I mean, that body will hold up. So around 9:30, we would get together and do just training, you know, lift weights, run, jump rope, work the bags, all of that. I started my first workout around 5 o'clock in the morning, up at 4:30, up at 4, dogs for an hour, you know, be the dog daddy. And then 5 o'clock, run, you know. No legs, no fight, you know. And again, I have no muscle memory. And also, I just loved it. You know what I mean? And so I got up and I ran. Ran 3 miles, you know, in the morning at pace. You know, you're trying to exhaust it, you know what I mean? Or condition, you know. And so I would do that and then get to the gym, get to their gym, well, our gym, right, and train. Sometimes I was with Clay, sometimes that was just me and Mike, you know, again, running, going through choreography, shadow boxing with weights, you know, to build the muscle, you know, or condition the muscle. A lot of core work, you know, shirts are coming off, you know, so it's gotta be right, you know, there's that element to it. And then from there, there'd be script work or something like that, and then irregardless of what the day was, I would then go to my other gym, you know, in East LA and train. And that's when I would do what I thought I needed to do to be the best version of myself to play Dame, you know? So it's bench press, you know, a lot of prison workouts, bench press, squats, curls, bench press, squat, curl, bench press, squat, curl. More weight, more weight, more weight, more weight. Build the body out, build the body out, build the body out, build the body out. Cardio, you know, hard cardio, you know. pull-ups, lots of pull-ups in the film. My take on it was everything my brother, director, and friend asked me to do, I was gonna be able to do, you know? And I also had my own goals for what I wanted Dame to be. Dame also represents to me, I have so many friends and family members who have been incarcerated. So many dreams that have been shut up and locked down, you know? And so I felt I had a duty to represent those folks, you know? And what would you do if you had the chance to exonerate yourself? Nothing would stop you, you know what I mean? And you would lose your mind if somebody said, you don't have to lift the real weight, you can lift the fake weight. No, 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 no. We're lifting the weight. I done trained for 4 months to get to this moment. We're doing it. These ropes, I'm climbing them. You don't need to do that. I'm climbing these fucking ropes. You just don't want to get busted. You know, especially when you're playing someone that exists. That man exists. You know, there's a reason why I changed his last name to Anderson. You know, and they allowed us to change, you know, the name to Anderson. That's my my maternal grandfather's last name. I think the value is that, you know, here's a guy who, against all odds, you know, against all odds made his way out after being put down. This man was put down and forgotten, you know, and the strength of the human spirit, you know, he was actually imprisoned. Actually. Not metaphorically, actually. You know what I mean? Yeah. But then, of course, the literal incarceration leads to a figurative incarceration of his mind. And he frees himself. He frees himself. That's the takeaway. Keep punching. You know what I mean? Keep punching. You know, get up. Keep punching. You get two people to root for. As you said, you get two people to love, which means there's two journeys that you've understood and two avenues of potential catharsis. And that's all we need. That's all we want. That's all. What do I want people to take from the film? Catharsis. As a director, I've not felt more taken care of as far as the world building, as far as the understanding of the music of the film, you know, what part I was playing. You know, it's never been so concrete in the best way, you know? And so there's a certain amount of faith you have in your director, you know? We worked in such a way where it was like, it's a real collaboration. You know, I think the best director is like, it's very much like a big brother, you know, or a good parent. They literally just let you run and put things in the way or move things out of the way to allow you to be you. You know, and he just trusted so much, for whatever reason, that I was going to do the job, and I was the man for the job. And when you feel that trust, it makes you want to put out, you know, more so than you would even for yourself, you know. It's kind of weird to me how our chemistry works. Like we actually really like each other. You know what I mean? Like my tail starts wagging when I see him. I'm like, oh, what's up, man? You know, how you doing? You know, it's I feel like boyhood friends. You know, we play boxers together, soldiers together, police officers. There's just a kindred spirit, you know, which is so strange because we're so close in age, you know, and so alpha in our own ways, and both young men yet, you know, and so the merging of these kingdoms, the merging of this, it's a real collaboration, you know, where 1 + 1 = 3, or 1 + 1 = Creed. I mean, Tessa is a generational talent, you know, and working with her aura on screen and her aura in life, there is a great, again, collaboration. I mean, he's boxing with her, you know what I mean? And she's boxing with him, you know, and he's taking hits and giving hits, and it's quite sophisticated, her level of communication. And then, you know, love Wood. And it was fun to play with him because I so much admire him. You know, he's an NYU graduate, I'm a Yale graduate. We share a master teacher in Ron Van Loo. We got to joke about that. You know, we have similar trainings, you know, both East Coast actors, you know. But to be the adversary to his camp was great. You know, I've have not played a character that was so communicative, you know, with their body in that way, solely with their body, you know. So the conversations that Mike and I were having, that Damien and Adonis were having in those moments, were life-changing for me as an actor and healing for me as an actor and a person, you know, and a black man. There's no other way to see this one, you know. The size of it, the intimacy of it, the sound of it, the emotion of it, it has to be seen in the cinemas. Um, I think it's so great. It was so great in the beginning process of it that, you know, we're doing certain shots on IMAX cameras with certain machines that just have not been done in cinemas, that they've not been shot before, you know. It has to be seen there. For the full experience, for all the performance, for all the sweat, for all the tears, you have to see it in cinemas. And this is something you want to see with families. It's a family story. You know, Damien and Adonis are brothers, you know. Adonis and Bianca, you know, like they are a family. They have a child. They're building that. You know, it's something to see that will break your heart and bring us all together.